Welcome to the Home Designer Quick Tip. Today I'll be covering custom ceiling beams in Home Designer. Let's get started by opening up Home Designer Pro. When I open up my program, I can see that I have my farmhouse kitchen template opened. To start by designing these beams, we first need to get into our plan and take a camera view. To access our camera tools, we're going to go up to our default toolbar and click on our camera options. I'll take a full camera view by clicking on the view, and then I'll click within my plan and drag out my camera. This will give me an interior view of my space. You can see that I already have a roof placed on my structure, a vaulted ceiling, and lighting has been added. Let's tile both of our views by going to Shift on our keyboard F6. Then we'll zoom into our plan view by using our mouse with our scroll wheel. It makes it nice for designing because I can get close up to the area that I want to modify, and then I can pull it down. I'm going to bring up my inspiration image. This will show us the next steps and where we want to go with our kitchen. So you can see we have a main beam down our ceiling, and then we have additional beams that come off the end. So let's get back into Pro. The first thing we need to do to create this beam is go up to our default toolbar and click on our cabinet options. Soffit tools are available under this dialog. So we'll click on the tool, then I'm going to click in my plan to apply it. I'll double click to open up my soffit, and I'm going to want to make some changes here. So first I'll change the width to 10 inches, then I'll click tab on my keyboard. And you can see over in our preview that our soffit is changing. Next, we'll go to height, and I'll change this to 20 inches. Click tab, and our software will automatically adjust it to inches without having to place that inch marker. The depth we'll set at 250, and then I'm going to drop down to my floor to bottom height and modify this to 120 inches. And then we'll click tab and OK to apply the changes. And we can see in our kitchen now that we have a beam down the main ridge. So I need to move this back into place. So I'm just going to grab it and pull it back in my plan. And then I'm going to center this beam. So I'll click on the beam and go down to my edit toolbar and center it within my plan. So I can just pull my tool up and click to center it. And I can see that my lights need to be adjusted as well. So we have a shortcut key on our keyboard. I can click F12, and you'll notice that our electrical will drop down. Next, I'll want to apply a wood material to create a rustic beam. Let's go over to our library browser. We have different catalogs to choose from. We can select between our core content, and that comes when you purchase a Home Designer license. We also have bonus and manufacturer catalogs as well as our user catalog. I'm going to click on my bonus catalog to expand it, and we're going to scroll down to our rustic wood materials folder. Then I'll click here to expand this folder, and I'm going to select my planking and siding folder. Within this folder, I have an aged dark stained wood that I'd like to apply to my beam. So I'll click on the wood, and then I'm going to click on my beam to apply it. And you can see that the wood grain is going in two separate directions. So we need to create a new soffit under our main soffit to change the grain. So I'll go back to my plan view. I'm going to click on my soffit to select it, and then we'll go down to our edit toolbar and click on copy and paste in place. From here we want to move over two more tools to the left to the open object, click on that tool, and then we're going to modify the height here. So I'm going to set it at a 1/2 inch, and then we'll drop down to the floor to bottom and modify this dimension to 119.5 inches. We can click tab, and you can see that it's adjusted over in our preview view, and then we'll click OK to accept this change. And you can see a new soffit has been placed. So to change this material, we actually need to copy the material that we're using. So we're going to expand out our planking and siding folder. I'll click on that aged dark stained wood, right click on it to copy it, and then we're going to scroll down to a folder I created under my user catalog called Quick Tip. I'm going to right click again and paste this material within my folder, and I'm going to change it. I need to change the name. So to do this, I'll right click on that material, and we're going to go to Open Object. And I can specify a new name here. So I'll put comma main beam, And this is where you can also change the material color, you can change the lines if you want to modify the shading contrast. You can also change the material type here. So if you wanted to select between a different type of material, we're going to drop down to our pattern panel, and then we're going to specify the angle here to 90. We'll click tab and you can see that it will adjust the angle within our preview view. We also want to do the same for our texture. So I'll change this to 90 degrees, click tab, and then we'll click OK to see it modify in our view here. So next, what I want to do is click on my 3D view, and then I'm going to apply this new material to my beam, and you'll see that it's been updated. Next, I'll want to design our additional beams. So we need to go back up to our default tools. Under our cabinet tools, click on our soffit tool again. We're in our 3D view, so I'll just click and place my beam, or my soffit I should say, and then we can actually open it up and modify it. So I'll double click to open up the dialog, and we're going to change it. So we need to modify the width to 10 inches. Click tab. This height we need to set at 8 inches, and then the depth we're going to change to 97. If we scroll down here, you can change the floor to top and floor to bottom. I'm concerned with sloping my soffit. So under our options category, we can slope the soffit in Home Designer Architectural and Pro, and this is going to pull up 2 more options for us. So we can modify the height at the back face, and I'm going to change this to 107 and 5/8, and then we're going to modify the front face here to 139 and 9/16. And we'll click tab, and you can see that it's going to angle it over in our preview. We'll click OK, and now it's modified it in our plan. We need to rotate this beam around by clicking on the beam, and then I'm going to grab my rotate handle here and rotate it within my plan, and I can pull it in to place. I'm going to grab my rustic wood from my main beam here, so we'll click on our 3D view. I'll just grab my material eyedropper, and then we'll paste it onto that additional beam, and it'll adjust. And now we can see again that we have 2 different wood grains, so we need to create a new soffit. So I'll click here, copy my original soffit, and then we can paste a new soffit right next to it. I'm going to double click to open up that beam for specification. We'll change the width here to 1/2 inch. Click tab on the keyboard. We'll see it update in our preview view. Then we'll click OK, and we can see that move back right next to our original beam. And to change the material, we need to right click on our existing material. We're going to copy it, paste it, and then we're going to right click again to open up the object and change the name. So this time we'll change it to side 1. And we'll want to drop down to the pattern tab, change the angle here to -19, and then we'll go to the texture tab as well and change the angle to -19. Click OK to accept the change, and now we have that material pasted onto our beam. So we'll click and our beam will adjust. Let's take another camera view. So we'll go back to our plan view here, grab our camera. We'll take a full camera and see what's going on the other side of our beam. As you can see, we have that wood grain that's going in the wrong direction again. So let's bring down our floor plan view, and we'll work side by side with our new camera view. So I'm going to copy that second beam by clicking on the beam, and then I'm going to click tab to grab that last beam we've created. We'll go to our edit toolbar, click copy, and then we're going to reflect it. So we're going to get right over that beam here and reflect on the other side. And now to change this material, I'll make a copy of the last material we've created by right clicking, and then we need to select copy, click again to paste it within our folder, and then we're going to open up the object by right clicking, clicking on open object. This time I'm going to change it to side 2, drop down to pattern, change the pattern here to 19 since it's on the opposite side, and 19 again. And now we'll click OK to accept those changes. We're going to click on our 3D view and spray that new material, and then we'll get back in so we can exit out of this view. We'll get back to our plan view and multi-select the beam to grab all the components. We're going to block them together. This is available within Architectural and Professional. I'm going to add this new beam to my library. You can rename it if you'd like. So what I'll do now is take this new beam and we're going to pull it all the way back within our plan. I can grab the other beam bring it in. We'll rotate it around. We need to pull it all the way back as well. And we should take a camera view so we can see what's going on. So we can just click back on that camera view and we can see how our beams have been placed. We can click Shift F6 to tile both of those views. I'm going to select my two beams. So I need to grab the beam and then we're going to hold down Control and select that other beam. I'm going to use a Transform Replicate tool. This is available with Home Designer Pro. I'll make a copy. In fact, I'm going to make 5 copies, and then we're going to move them on our Y delta negative 48 inches, and we'll click OK. And now our beams have been applied to our plan. So while I'm in this view, I want to change my ceiling by opening up my materials folder, and I have a white tongue and groove. I can just click within my plan to paste it on my ceiling, and now my ceiling is done. So within a few minutes, you can create custom beams within the software. Let's take a minute to visit our website. We have many different product options to choose from. You can select between Home Designer Pro, Architectural, Suite, Interiors. We even have a product chooser where you can click and compare our products side by side to learn more about our software. If you do have questions, feel free to contact us at any time. You can even download a free trial version of our software and get designing today. Let's go up to our User Center. We have training videos as well as help articles. Here's a great article on creating a coffered ceiling using our soffit tool, so another application on how you can use those soffit tools that we use today. I also suggest visiting our samples gallery where you can see other plans for inspiration. Let's scroll down to the bottom of our website and we can view our social media icons. So we have a home top community forum. You can connect with us on Facebook, visit our house page, or even see additional videos on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this quick tip and invite you to find additional resources through homedesignersoftware.com. Thank you for watching this quick tip and have a great day.